Welcome to the Encouraging Word, a place for thoughtful conversation, reflective faith, and encouragement for the journey. I'm Pastor Eric. Wherever you're listening from, I'm glad you're here.
Good morning, beautiful people. This is Pastor Eric, Associate Pastor at Lyndhurst Baptist Church on the west side of Indianapolis, and State Chaplain for Broken Chains JC with the encouraging word for today. We are in week 1, day 2 of our Atonement Theory series, and today's meditation is entitled Naming the Powers That Enslave Us. Today's scripture comes from Hebrews chapter 2, verses 14 and 15. By his death, he might break the power of him who holds the power of death, that is, the devil, and free those who all their lives were held in slavery by their fear of death. One of the reasons that the gospel feels distant to so many people is that we often reduce sin to bad behavior and salvation to improved behavior. But Scripture speaks in a much deeper register. Hebrews tells us that people can live their entire lives enslaved, not necessarily by obvious evil, but by fear. Fear of death, fear of loss, fear of being exposed, fear of being alone. These are not just emotions. Scripture calls them powers, forces that shape our choices, our habits, and imaginations without asking our permission. The early church was not naive about this. They didn't assume that people were merely weak-willed. They believed that humanity was held captive by forces larger than itself. Gregory of Nyssa wrote that humanity was held in bondage by the tyranny of death. Notice that word, tyranny. Tyrants do not politely ask. They dominate. Today, those tyrants often wear respectable disguises. Sometimes the power is addiction, not just to substances, but to approval, productivity, or control. Sometimes it's shame, that quiet voice that tells you that your worst moment is your true identity. Sometimes it's despair, the slow erosion of hope that says nothing will ever really change. And here's the crucial word of encouragement. The gospel does not scold people for being enslaved. It announces that God has entered the prison. That's why Hebrews says he frees those who were held in slavery, not those who failed to try hard enough. Those who were held. If you feel stuck today, that doesn't make you faithless. It makes you human. And it means that the good news of Jesus is not smaller than your struggle. It is precisely sized for it. Christ does not ask you to pretend that the chains aren't real. He proclaims that they are no longer final. Receive this blessing. May you become aware today of the places where Christ is already at work setting you free. May courage rise where fear has lingered. Grace and peace to you, beautiful people.
Thanks for sharing this time with me. I hope these words have given you space to breathe and something steady to carry with you into the rest of your day. Until next time, grace and peace.